Okay, it's not going to be that different. We're going to have Ty come up. He's going to do a demonstration. Why don't you plug in your laptop and get it all set up? A little context. So we're talking about data. We all know that investment tends to follow data. If you can measure it, you can make a case for it. And that's been one of our biggest hurdles in Indiana for creative economy. Too often the data we have is either outdated, incomplete, or not reflective of what's actually happening on the ground. So Ty, who I'm very proud to say is a past Pattern intern.
Oh, thanks, Ty.
Thank you, yes. He built this wonderful user-friendly dashboard. It is a pilot, if you will, the beginning of something beautiful. He did it about 6 months ago after he heard me complaining about the need for a dashboard that specifically helped creative industries better understand what was going on from a data perspective. And he did it, and I was so happy. I thought, this is it. This is going to solve all of our problems. And it didn't, because the data that we have access to is just not that great for what we need. And on top of that, in the past 6 months, we've had this thing happen called agentic AI. And so agentic AI is what happens when data stops sitting in a file and starts working for you. It's like having a digital analyst who never sleeps and instantly turns raw data into strategy. So imagine having a tool where you go and you say, hey, show me how many live music venues, independent artists, and event-related jobs exist in Madison, Indiana, and what that means for local tourism. And something happens, and about 45 seconds later, you have this whole rundown of the data and what it means. Or compare Elkhart's RV design and manufacturing strengths with its emerging creative design firms. What collaborations could unlock new innovations? So we got rolling. Ty's going to show you what he's made to get your brains rolling. We have a survey that we would love for you to take right after this session. But really, what we've got here, what we're thinking about as an organization, and obviously looking to build partnerships around this, is how do we create data sets that could be plugged into this dashboard that anybody can go in and ask questions of, rather than like click around and make complicated charts and such. So have fun.
Thank you.
Take it away, Ty.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Hello. Hi. Okay. So my name is Ty Stratton. I'm a business intelligence analyst, so I do have one of those fancy titles. It just means that I work in data. And I've been a part of the creative economy for, thank you, Polina. Thank you, Polina. For the past 10 years. And so I got, oh wow, I've never seen my project on a big screen like that. That's crazy. So Pattern came to my high school and supported me as an entrepreneur when I was like a sophomore in high school. I had my own clothing brand at the time, and I was screen printing. And Julia Rutland, I don't know if anyone knows her, of the Gifted Gown, she came to my high school and she said, all of this cool, interesting, fun stuff is happening in Indianapolis. And at the time, I was like, I'm alone in this. Like, I'm alone in creativity. There isn't like a community here in Indianapolis. And I went down to the Pattern's first trunk show, and I sold clothes. And my friend showed up, and my mom shows up. She's actually in the back. Thank you, Mom, for showing up for this as well. Yes, I love my mom. And she showed up, sold me out. I'm pretty sure my business wouldn't be thriving without it. And I was always more concerned with like the Excel spreadsheets. Like I had like 4 different Excel spreadsheets to tell you like how much money I could be making, or could be making. I was not making. And so, Pattern's always been kind of like this revolving door for me, where in college I went for fashion design, and I went to Pattern and I became a social media intern. And I was using Google Analytics and Google Ads, and I was doing the reporting and I was doing the spreadsheets. And something kind of clicked for me that I love the data component of it. And so earlier this year, I reached out to Pattern and I said, like a dork, I said, do you have any underutilized data pipelines that might need servicing? And they said, yeah, we do. We need somebody to work on this data because it's not being used. And so I created Wesley's project, and Wesley's project is supposed to get all of us on the same page. So that's educators, that's businesses, that's small business owners, that's creatives as well. It's for everybody. So what you can do, or I talked to Belina and she gave me, this is what I had to go off of, which, is a black screen right now. It's okay, I can describe it. They have the California Creative Economy, they have their own dashboard right now. No, you're so fine. Keep going. Yeah, you're good. So California has their own creative economy dashboard, and when I went to it, it showed you like statistics by quarter and what was happening on a per county basis. And I looked at it, and I just kind of felt like inundated a little bit with numbers, like it felt like a lot in your face. And I feel like in order to get creatives and businesses on the same page, the data has to be approachable, it has to be engaging. People need to want to look at it because it's not lack of data that we're missing. We have the data. It's about how we're presenting it, right? So actually, this is definitely the part where they're going to need to see the project. Okay, there we go. So this is what I came up with. It was 400 hours of programming over 2 months. I mean that so sincerely. It took me a very long time. This is Python, CSS, every single programming word that you want to throw at it, I used. So you can select a data set off to the right. So this is US Census Bureau data. So this is federal data, right? And you can click around. Ooh, it's so interactive. Wow. So you can click. Do you like my color scheme as well? So you click on a county and you see information off to the left on industries that are in that area. These are just creative industries. These are NAICS codes, so I pulled 160 of them. And you see businesses, you see workforce, you see total employee earnings. My favorite is a salary heat map because it shows you how much more money a county is paying their creative economy workers compared to other counties, right? And so you can see, like I'm clicking Hendricks County right now, but Hendricks County pays $9,000 more than the state average, right? And like there are so many nuances and things that I've found by just playing and manipulating this data. And so I can also, the person that screamed out workforce growth earlier, that was me during the last panel. I screamed workforce growth because it's on my map. So this is workforce growth in Indiana. And so you can click any of these counties, you can filter it by year right down here, and you might be thinking to yourself, this is, all creative economy information. What if I just wanted furniture stores and I just wanted to look at what furniture stores were going through in Indiana over the past, 10 years. So there are filters off to the side right here. I've pulled 160 of them. And if I hit furniture stores right here, let's just say like I'm a small business owner, I want to hire more employees, I want more economic output, I want more money, basically. You can pull up a payroll heat map and you can, total annual payroll, for those who might not know, it's the single best statistic at knowing how healthy an industry is. And so if I was looking at this map, I can see just by the color coding right here that there are, it looks like Lake County, Allen County, and Hamilton County are doing the best. Like they have the healthiest furniture store industries. That saves whoever was creating that business or trying to make that business decision a lot of time, right? And those filters extend to workforce growth as well. So I'm looking at workforce growth for just businesses, or for just furniture stores in Indiana. And it's not just workforce, I can do businesses as well. And it just swaps. So all of that is great and good, but if I wanted to pass this off to someone in government, in education, how would I do that? I created a tool for it. So, oh no, let's go here. Okay, that's better. Okay, so if I had selected it, I could have selected furniture store and just had just one report on Hendricks County. But if you save that and download that, you get an instant 15-page report of what is happening with furniture stores in Hamilton County, right? And so this is all the information that I was kind of showing you guys earlier, just going through. And then if anyone is ever suspicious of the data, I have cited my sources. And so I'm using US Census Bureau, I'm using ACS, American Community Survey, I'm using the Bureau of Economic Analysis because it's important to adjust things by cost of living. And so later I can get annual payroll rankings by county. So it's like what industry for furniture stores, like what county is doing the best work, basically. Top industries by total employee earnings. So in our panel, they were talking about how sometimes people don't consider some of the tech fields as creative industries, but they are. Engineering services and software publishers are pulling in a massive amount of money in our state that should be supporting our creative economy. And this is the thing that I'm going to be the pettiest about during my speech. So I think it's important that we retain Indiana talent. It's something that I hear all the time from Polina, but it's when people graduate from here, we want to keep them here. And so people will graduate and they will say, I want to move to California because I'm going to make more money and they care about creatives there. I want to go to New York. They care about creatives there. And if I scroll down, because I took weighted median salary, I adjusted it by cost of living, and then I got an adjusted salary. So this is how much creatives are actually being paid in Indiana. And if I scroll all the way down, if I could get the pettiest round of applause for Indiana actually paying creatives $500 more than California, look at that. Look, we're doing so well, guys. Thank you, thank you. So just $500, it was $471. So these are growth trends, as I was showing you before. Fastest growing industries, if anyone wants to know, every single county I click on in Indiana, nail salons are popping off. Like you need to put your stocks in nail salons because it's insane. Fastest declining industries, which is a little bit sadder, but media representatives, book, periodical, newspaper, merchant wholesalers. And then this is a scatter plot. So I think it's important to note, data engineering. So nail salons are at the top left because they're a smaller industry that's growing a lot. But then if you look at software publishers off to the right, they're a really large, they have a large economic footprint. And they're growing, but they shouldn't be on the same sides, basically. So that's why you introduce a scatter plot. And so earlier, when I was showing you guys my map, let's go back. You guys might have noticed that when I had this clicked and I was at, let's go down to furniture stores and look at the payroll heat map. You guys might notice that this is federal data and some of those counties aren't reporting anything for that next code, nothing. And we're using federal data to make important decisions about our creative economy. So Madison City and Jefferson County got brought up earlier, right? It was actually part of my presentation when they talked about it in the last segment. I was like, oh my goodness. Wow, I'm going back. Okay, Madison City is just like the premier place for music. That's what they're branding themselves as, right? And so you would think if I hit Jefferson County on my map using federal data that something would pull up, right? So we're gonna go down to Jefferson County down here, right? Not furniture stores, that's fine that they don't have any, that's okay. Let's go to musical groups and artists, nothing. And that's the data that we're using to make concrete decisions about where funding should go. And you might be thinking, maybe it's another next code, right? If I pull up musical instrument and supply stores, nothing. If I pull up musical instrument manufacturing, nothing. So it's really important that we are finding this data, we're collecting it, and we're injecting it into the map. And I think that Wesley's project is a great starting point for you to be able to put your data set off to the right and we can visualize it all together to make really important decisions about where Indiana's going. Just 3 years ago, me making this by myself would not be possible. I mean, it would be. It would have taken me years and years and years. But AI and agentic AI really helps with the development of these things, and it lowers like the barrier to entry for people that are not technical. But at the same time, you have to understand how to use these tools. It's not like I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you spit out Wesley's project? That's not what happened. There's so much more that goes into it, and right now AI is growing at an exponential rate. And eventually, it's not going to plateau, but the people that are using it, they're going to plateau, and it's like everyone's going to be using it in the exact same way, and then it's not special anymore. So I think the artists need to get on to this wave because, as we all know, data is like here and then it's there. And we need to be able to visualize this data as quickly as possible. And that's all I have for you guys. But
Well done.
yeah. I think I saw a question. Yeah, go ahead.
So, is Dart, so I'm from Marion County.
Okay.
And you go back to like the Marion County, like,
I would love to. Can I go back to Marion County? Thank you. Okay.
say for furniture stores or for music, one of your examples.
Yeah.
So,
You can pick anything you want. What would you like?
I don't think you showed up. Let's go back to live music.
Okay. Musical groups and artists. And then this is the payroll heat map.
Okay, so Marion County is strong.
Yes, Marion County is strong when you look at this map. The thing that I found, not only is federal data not, showing for some of these areas, but maybe businesses are so small that they don't want to report for competitive reasons, right? If there are only like 2 music supply stores in one county, you don't want your competitor to know what's happening, right? So that's another big problem, and a reason why maybe collecting this data and building the architecture ourselves might be important. Go ahead.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Have you gotten financial support for all this work yet?
Yes, Pattern has sponsored this project. Yes.
I think community foundations should be talked to
Okay.
where there's a lot of reporting,
Okay.
including the Central Indiana Community Foundation, which is supporting this conference. They need to know about this.
Okay. Thank you so much.
As a young, wonderful entrepreneur,
Yeah.
you should be getting support from the philanthropic sector.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's my middle name. It's just Wesley's project. It sounds cool, and my clothing brand in college, like I already had all the branding for it, and I said, I'm not redoing that. I'm not redoing that. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. I do not know why this was not a part of my present. I'm so sorry. You can select any single state that you want and get that economic information. You got Florida, you got California, you got Pennsylvania, right? So, you said Pennsylvania? How did I forget that? We have 51 states worth of information. But this is for just musical groups and artists. But if I went up here to the top, selected all industries, you can see the heat map for Pennsylvania. So it's every single state. And you can just imagine, if I get geotagged information, I can add any data set to this project. And like I have US Census Bureau data, but I also have Kickstarter projects down here. It was just another project that I added to see if it would be scalable, and it is. So, yeah, great question. Go ahead.
Is this data accessible by subscribing to the website?
Yes, so you can access all of this data right now. So if you went to wesleysproject.com on desktop, you can play around with this data all you want. You can download a certain amount of reports before you have to start actually giving back to the creative economy, which in this case is me. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. So I am not specifically, but I have had conversations with Pattern, a few conversations with IAC about like what are the best strategies that we can implement to be, collecting this data and to get creative companies like on our side, because we're like all under the same umbrella. We need to all be on the same page. We need to stop, pitting it against one another and actually start working together. So yeah, go ahead.
Is there a way, or could there be a way to map the state of high congressional district or legislature?
Yes, there is. Yes. Yes.
He can do anything.
I can do anything if I
Well-
put my mind to it.
The survey will give you guys an opportunity to express an interest in what kind of data sets you need, what kind of visualizations. If you want to be involved, it'll give you a chance to leave your email and name. I love that there's so much interest in this. So please do take the survey. And Ty's going to stick around so you guys can pick his brain.
Yeah, please do.
And we're, I think, going to go into a break.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Ty.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.